Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Touring Car Sim Racing League. I am your commentator, that's me. We've got some new fun stuff on the programme in terms of what's going on. That's me, I'm your commentary team. I'm on my own, uno numero. I'll be here for the next about 2 hours, taking you through all the exciting action that's going to be unfolding at Zolder. That's where we are today. In terms of the event information, it is round 2 of the Touring Car Sim Racing League from Zolder. It's always sunny wherever we are. Track temperature doesn't really change the same, so there's not a lot going into that. We have a great set of races coming up. We've got about 6.5 minutes left of the practice session. After the practice session, we have our 10 minutes of qualifying. That will take us into race 1. That is a 15-minute race. Positions are determined off where they start in terms of where they qualify. Race 2. Race 2 is a 15-minute, but where they finish in race 1 will determine their positions in race 2, their start positions for race 2. So it's important to get a good result. Race 3. Race 3 is it is a 15-minute race. Top 8 are automatically reversed, and from 8 to 12 will then be go into a, what's it called, a wheel, a draw. But they will be based off, that reverse grid is based off the finishing positions of race 1. Right, this is us, this is the current event. There we are, Tcsrl round, we're live now on YouTube. Share it, like it, send it to as many people as you can get hold of. We're now taking off all the information. Don't forget, coming up this Sunday is Trip 6 Motorsport. 4 of the guys racing here, rounds 11 and 12 at Imola. Check it out, they are brilliant. They are on they are on Discord, and they are on YouTube. It's at the bottom. Go check them out. Recommend it. Right, over to the Drivers' Championship. We'll go through this in terms of pretty fast, because we've only got 5 minutes remaining. You can see George is... That's not even the right table. Isn't that nice? So that was the old table, and it turns out, as we go live on stream, as we always do, everything seems to go off the rocker. So what we're going to do quickly is, as we are live, you'd think I haven't done... You'd think I'd be doing this for quite a while, but it turns out, no, I haven't. There we go. There's the correct table, live on stream. Lloyd is currently winning. He's currently head of the championship, 57 points, but he's got 80 kilograms on board. That's going to hurt him. Jean Petre is in second, 49 points, 70 kilograms on board. Trebek is third. He's 60 kilograms. He's in the Cooper this season. Tijo, the highest placed non-Cooper. He's in a Lincoln Co. Personal favourite car of mine. He should win everything, in my opinion, but there we go. He's on 36, 50 kilograms. He's a race winner this time, last time out, and Lloyd was the double race winner, so there's 3 winners, the top 3. Markham is 5th. 32 points on 40. Norton is 5th on 30 kilograms. You've got George, who is 7th. He's on 20 kilograms, down at 26 points. Butcher 8th. Surprise, him and Deeks were surprising pace with all the weight that they had on board, so that was very surprising, but he's in 8th. And then we get to the light ones, so we've got Ian Dealey 22nd. In 9th, Neil in 10th, currently setting the fastest times, just ahead of Shaw's at the moment. Then we've got Wilson, Deeks, Von Skeppen, Weatherhill, Tamenga, Flack, Ashbourne, Alexander, Campion, Neil, Kirby, Papa Dim is back for the full, and Luke, who's currently not driving his machine. So at the moment, we're expecting 21 drivers. In terms of the teams, with 3 minutes to go, there you go. Read it, pause it, have a look at it, but all I'd recommend, we're all supporting the Danger Mouse Racing. Best name on the field, and that's how it sums up at the moment. And in terms of the Creative Trophy, via Creative Trophy, one of our sponsors, this is for anyone who hasn't had an outright win in the championship. Plus, it takes positions lost and positions gained, which is why you've got some negatives on them. So it's looking at those that are always top of the table. In terms of they don't gain a lot of positions. Those at the back can move up as they get better and better. There it is with 2 minutes 37 remaining. Jean Petre's leading, followed by Trebek, Norton, Markham. Neil is in 5th. Neil holds the record for winning 2 of the Via Creation trophies, which were Dugdale's, without actually winning a race. He won his first race out in season 4 and race 3, I think, of the opening event. So yeah. Wilson, Butcher, George, Deeney, Van Skeppen, Weatherhill, Flack, Tamenga. Then you've got Ashbourne, Papadim, Alexander, Dugdale, Campion, Kirby, Neil, and Deeks. And that's how it stacks up. In terms of what's coming up, that's what's coming up next. Next Wednesday is round 7, 8 and 9 at Tcsrl. Something went wrong with the graphic there, but there we go. So that's live next time out. And then obviously Tripspex Motorsport is this Sunday at Imola, rounds 11 and 12. They have 2 more weeks of racing left. So they will finish just as we go into our mid-season. Please check them out. Great racing. Great racing. And it's in terms of that. Right. For those of you that are following at home, I can see a lot of you. Please, can you just double check my audio? Am I loud enough? I'm always loud. But am I too loud? Right. Let's get down to business. The game's trying to sort itself out, as it always does at this time, but the early pace setter is Neil. It's on auto-direct at the moment, so it's flipping through. Van Skeppen should come through to do a qualifying lap. He's going to go through, and he's gone fastest by 0.03 of a second. It's actually from Stu Neal. Stu Neal's coming up as it flips up on the board, basically on the board. You've got George, who's 3rd. You've got Flack, who's currently out, and he is currently 4th fastest. There he is in the Cupra. But again, what you have to remember is that George is the only one in the top 3, the board's trying to catch itself up there, who's actually carrying ballast. And that's important. Kane Alexander, so audio is spot on. Nice to see you, Michael Clough. Cloughy used to race with us, so did Chris as well. Both of them used to be race with us, race winners out in terms of the Tcsrl as well. So it's really, really tricky. DB Trans, nice to see you again on chat. Lovely, fantastic. Everything is hunky-dory. Brilliant, brilliant. Please come and say hi. We are a nice bunch, and I will try and keep an eye on the chats. Any questions, please put them in there and I will try and get to them. We're watching Kane Alexander at the moment. Auto Direct is off. We're going to follow him around the lap in terms of what we get. There's Tamenga. He sat in the pits at the back. It's quite surprising, Tamenga. He is fast, but I know that there's been issues in terms of the Otter Hub. Is it Otter Hub? Otter Hub and the other thing that people use. What's it called? Everyone uses it. It's Otter Hub and Crew Chief. So I know that there's been 2 issues with those currently. So they have been, all the drivers have been warned. I love that camera angle. Have been warned not to do anything silly. Right, we're going to hit auto direct. Who's first on the board? It's Stu Neal. So we're going to stick with Stu Neal as we ride on board with him now. This is the penultimate chicane, left and right. You can break your suspension here if you're not too careful. We're going to go into the onboard graphic during qualifying, and there he is, left hand side, graphics on your right, sector 1. He was second fastest, don't forget, in the practice session. He has no ballast on board this car. He had a poor outing last time at the racetrack that I can't remember, the one that goes round and round, turn 1 oval. Someone will come on here and tell me at some point. So he had a really poor race there, but then he had a good race 2 and race 3, so he's really managed to claw himself back. He's fighting Van Skeppen, who's currently, where is he in his sector? He's 19.221. So at the moment, they're all going on the board in terms of passing through that. So Rich Weatherhill is currently the fastest in that sector, 29.960. He's Jean Petra is currently second fastest. It's Tripspic Motorsport, and then Jean Petra is Tripspic Motorsport by Cupra. So there are 4 of this team running, but they're running under 2 separate basically entities. It's a 21 car grid tonight. It goes through up over the crest of the hill here, riding on board now down to the front camera. John Petra slightly ahead on the board. There he is. Sector 1's purple. Sector 2 is purple. Hard on the brakes. Into the chicane we go. He runs a little bit wide there, and this is a fantastic overtaking opportunity. Back through the left, right-hander up to the penultimate chicane. He will cross the line, I suspect, first. The question is he going to be there? Pascal is still on board. He's 1.9. I got 1.95 on the board. He's going to go fastest in that sector. Stu Neal is currently 3rd fastest. Lloyd is 4th fastest in terms of crossing the line. He will be across the board. There he goes. Nick Papadim. There's Jake Wilson. Has gone across the board. What has happened to Jean Petra? What has happened? He's down in 6th position, but again, he's carrying ballast on board. So he's got, don't forget, 70 kilograms on board that car. It is worth around half to 3/10 of a second over a lap. Tyres are going to hurt him. I'm unsure if he's actually raced in a league that's running quite the way that TCRS does. Jake Wilson's currently fastest in his little 308, best sounding car on the grid. Pa 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 pa. It's like a little machine gun. 136.960. That's fastest. Where's Papadim? Here comes through Papadim again. They aren't really setting any lap times or going any faster. There's Van Skeppen. He was currently fastest in the opening lap. In a practice session, pipping Stu Neal to that, but he hasn't managed to do it. Tamenga is just sat on the. I think he's just going to sit at the back and just stay out of trouble. There is Wilson, 136.960, 17 on the board, 20 in the field. Where do they come out? Jake Wilson's currently fastest. He's abandoning the lap. Papadim. They've all put a banker lap in. Where is Neal? Stu Neal is down in 9th. There we go. He's purple sector 1. If you're new to this type of racing, we have different, depending on how fast they're going. As you can see, sector 1 and sector 2 purple. It means he's gone fastest overall of anybody in the entire race. Sector 3, if it comes up that same colour now, it means he's gone slower than anybody. If it's green, he's done a personal best, but he needs purple, purple, purple. That's what he's looking at. On the board, as we look at the director, he's looking to get he's looking to be fastest in that sector. It's coming up on the board to say he will be fastest. The question is, does he cross the line? Does he pip it? Does he take provisional pole? Crosses the line? Yes, he does by 0.02 of a second. That was a fantastic lap from Neal there. So he's gone. Poddy Flack is going faster. No, he's lost out in that final sector. He was coming up on the board. Lloyd Billup is going 3rd. I'm going to got his name wrong. I'm just going to call him Lloyd. Butcher's coming up on the board. Van Skeppen, what does he do? He's gone fastest in sector 1. So Van Skeppen here is currently 3rd fastest, 2/10 off Stu Neal as a 136.754, which I believe is faster than the qualifying lap done by Simon Ashbourne, who is currently down in 9th position. Deeks popped him into 15th. Now, don't forget, they're going to want to get into the top 12 in race 1 because top 8 guaranteed reversal from 8 to 12 could put you on pole position, so you're going to want to be top 12. Van Skeppen, I don't think he's going to go any faster. We pick up Jake Wilson. He's gone 1/10 faster in Sector 1. Riding on board with him now through the second chicanes we go. Then it's the right-hander, not overtaking opportunity. He takes as much as track as he dares. Over the crest of the hill he goes. The question is here, can he do anything? This is the middle of the cockpit view. His feet just stay solid. Through the right-hander, 7/100th of a second slower in that final sector. That's the problem Wilson's having. He's not really connecting up the sectors. But his problem will be this final sector. The car just doesn't like to rotate through here. That little Peugeot is punchy, but it just doesn't have the guts that it needs to really do anything. He might be wrong, but he's coming up the board. He's going to take the shortest line. Does that help him? Yes, yes, it does. What a mighty final sector. 6,000th of a second. He's taken the position. Neil is now coming back up on the board as being in the lead. Brilliant stuff. So not only did Wilson just go faster, Neil has just gone faster again. The man is on fire tonight. Down the hairpin goes. Let's see where he comes up. Where is the championship leader? Lloyd's down in 8th, so he's stuck between Norton in 7th and George in 9th. All roughly about 5/10 of a second. Flack's gone into 3rd. They are constantly changing. We are currently sticking with Neil at the moment onto the cockpit view. He is purple sector 1, purple sector 2, 2/10 of a second faster than anybody. Does he extend the lead? A little bit, by 3/10 of a second. Yeah, he does. He absolutely cremates that lead from Wilson. There is Jake Wilson. Markham is currently on a improved lap. He's currently down in 15th. He will go to, so he's 2/10 off. So that would put him roughly about 3rd if he could maintain this pace. That's what's going to be key here. It's all going to be about keeping that pace as he slides it through into the second set of chicane. Needs to not go on those tyres. Has he lost any time in that sector? We're looking for green. He needs green or purple. Poddyflack's going fastest at the current moment in terms of he's improved his time. There he is, 6/10 of a second, 6/100ths of a second, it's that middle sector. It's that middle sector. That is where Neil is absolutely mighty fast, and he's run wide. That'll be lap invalidated. That is one for the bin. He needs to abandon it. Keep going. Where is Kane Alexander? So Kane Alexander currently in 19th at the moment. There he is. He's 4/10 off provisional pole position, but he has improved his lap time. That's good for him. He's 1.9. That's 1 point. Again, it's that final sector. That final sector, he was 1.949. So he didn't improve. So he needs to cross the line, reset, and go for one more flying lap. And towards the back, where are we in terms of the rest of the field? Craig Deeks is in 17th. Deaney's in 18th. Kirby is in 20th. And Derek Neal, is in 20th. Where is Trebek? Trebek's down in 16th. But again, that's going to be all about the weight. That's the problem. There's Jean Petra currently in 12th. He's carrying 70 kilograms on board that car, don't forget. And that's what 70 kilograms does. It takes you towards the middle of the pack. So him, Jean Petra and Lloyd, who've come over from Leeds, both exceptional racers, are now going to be in this middle of a pack. The cars are going to be slower. They're going to be hurting more. And the likes of Neil, Papadim, Flack, Trebek, Butcher, they've all run with these weights of cars, so they've all really had to deal with it. It's going to be exciting to see where they go, but they get hindered on one and then they lose the ballast and they come back again, so that's going to be exciting. Poddy unballasted, don't forget. This is the corner that causes him a cropper. He's in 4th position. Papa Dim right behind. Those two, this 3 are all grouped together, but at the moment Neil is a class of his own. He's a 136.506. Jake Wilson 2nd, and he's near as enough, makes no difference, 4/10. Then you've got George, who's popped it into 3rd. George Shaw, sometimes I get the names wrong, 35 seconds. I'm not sure anyone's really going to improve from this sector. Poddy goes into 3rd. He improves and closes the gap marginally, but not enough. really to make any distance. T-Joke was on a flyer, but the board's come up on the board. He's currently down in the middle, but again, he's carrying the ballast. He's carrying ballast. So unless anything changes, Stu Neal takes the first pole of Season 5 for him. Wilson's in second, Flack's in third, Shaw's is in fourth, Papa Dim's in fifth, Van Skeppen is in sixth, Ashbourne is seventh, Lloyd's in eighth, carrying 80 kilos, don't forget. Butcher's ninth, Benny's 10th. Weatherhill's 11th. Now, Jean Petra needs to stay in 12th. He needs to get roughly up to 8th, which I think he can do. He needs to get there. Craig Deeks in 13th. Tomenga's in 14th. T-Joke's 15th. Markham is 16th. Trebek is 17th. That's really surprising. But again, Trebek has always struggled with ballast. Driving with ballast is a completely different subject than not driving for ballast. And that's what makes it very, very tricky. These guys are just going to be driving with ballast. And if they've never driven with it before, it changes the dynamic of the car. It's what makes the Tcsrl a very difficult league to drive in. And there's 2 times tyre wear in the league as well, which it's 2 unique challenges. It's not about going fast here, which we attract a certain caliber of driver, but equally we've got great support from Tripspic Motorsport, who, that's all about raw, pure talent and pace. It's 2 different challenges for the drivers, which is why it's exciting, which is why we support the Tripspic Motorsport the way it goes. Right, here we go. The lights will go. You'll see them go green. Who will be the top of the table? Who is going to take the first victory? Who is going to be the driver that does it again? Lights out, and away we go. It's an absolutely fantastic start there from Stu Neal, exactly what he needed to do. But the middle of the pack is all going to be squabbling into turn 1. There'll be a little bit of argy-bargy as they hold themselves on. Van Skeppen's holding on to 5th as he does it. The field is streaming through as they go through into turn 1. Have they held on to it? That middle pack is just gaggling with cars. There's the 31. That's Simon Ashbourne. He is now on the door of Lloyd, who's the number 22, as they go through into turn 3. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. It's turn 4, actually. Neil has got the perfect start. They're all pushing themselves out. It's argy-bargy, as you can see from the rear-facing camera of Shaw's. He's being hunted down from that middle pack as they all hit the brakes hard. Down the gearbox they go. Oh, there's an outbrake. Someone's outbraked him. That's Weatherhill. Weatherhill has taken to the escape road. Has he managed to hold on to it? Has he managed to do? Yes, he has. But he'll get a huge slowdown penalty. They're all streaming through. There is Van Skeppen. He is fighting with Nick Papadim. Has he held on to it? Yes, just enough. Van Skeppen's the 88. There is Nick Papadim in the 25. The 22 is Lloyd. That is our championship leader. They're all going to have a little bit of argy-bargy as they squiggle themselves out. There's Witherhill. I knew he would get a slowdown penalty from that at the front. At the moment, Neil has done absolutely perfection. Poddy Flack is into second. He's holding on to that, and Wilson is in third. Absolutely sensational stuff. Down the gearbox they go, through the corners. They all stream, riding from the rear camera now. This is Ashbourne. He's in 8th position. There's 9th, 10th, and 11th. There's T-Joke making a wave. Jean Petra is holding on to 12th. There is Jean Petra. Well, it isn't. There's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. You just keep counting, and eventually you'll see Jean Petra. There he is. Boom. He's in the 44. T-Joke is trying to go around the outside of Weatherhill, but hasn't managed to do it. They're all holding on to it at the moment as they're all sorting themselves out. Tamanga is in 15th. He's going to attempt to go up the side of T-Joke. T-Joke's in the 12th. That's the Lincoln Co. car ahead, riding on board now with Aaron Markham. He's watching the battle ahead. He's in 16th. Don't forget, there is 15th, 14th, 13th. They're all just sorting themselves out. But Papadim, what's happened to... I think Wilson's broken it. I think Wilson's broken his car. There's a tap. There's a tap between Wilson and Ashbourne, and it's sent Ashbourne off into the distance. He's facing the wrong way. Oh, it's taken out T-Joke as well. That's going to be race over. Race over for both of them. What is Wilson doing? He needs to abandon that car immediately. You're never going to get that home. You're just going to be a blockade at the moment. And he's causing all sorts lots of problems, or his internet's gone to wobble, or the car's gone to wobble, but he's taken out Ashbourne. But as always, we only ever see one thing on stream. It will be a hole. If there's an issue, they have to report it. But back over to the racing. There is Markham. He's in the 28. He's in position 14, riding from the rear view camera. Behind him, that's Trebek. He went off, don't forget, in the opening lap, and as a result, he's now down in 14th position. Trebek, there he is. Behind that is Kane Alexander riding on board now with Kane Alexander. He's in 16th position. There's 15th and 14th. This is the battle for the back of the field. Right, Craig Deek, he is the number 12. There is the number 7. There is the number 12. He is in the middle of the field. Craig Deek, he's in 10th. That's a good position to be when we do the reverse racer. There goes Weatherhill. He's trying to sell him the dummy. He's trying to go up the inside, but has Weatherhill opened the door to Jean Petre? There is Jean Petre. He's in the 44, riding on board with him now. He is second in the championship. 2 times he's finished on the podium so far this season. Not a race winner. That was gone to Lloyd and to Tijo, both at the back of the field. Does he go up the inside? Weatherhill, right side, closing that door shut. Oh, he's bouncing the car across the road. Sensational there from Weatherhill. These two, no love lost between them, riding from the rear view camera of Weatherhill. This is 11th, that is 12th. This is the battle of the backs, the back of the positions, bouncing across the curb. Right, we leave that battle and rejoin the battle between Papa Dim and Lloyd. Lloyd's made great progress. He is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th car in the row. There he is. He's the number 22, riding on board now with Lloyd. Here he is battling the car ahead, and you can see he gets closer and closer and closer, but he's having to manage the ballast. It's 80 kilograms on board this car, don't forget, and as a result, that's really tricky. Right, Jean Petre is attempting to go round. It's a slow down penalty. It's a slow down penalty. So Jean Petre has been gifted the position by Rich Weatherhill. Rich Weatherhill has gifted him the position because he had a slow down penalty, and that's absolutely hampered his ability now. Now Jean Petre has got to make use of that and get on and go. Right, this is Tamanga. So this is 17th and 16th. It's 9 minutes to go. It's a 15-minute race, don't forget. There is 17, there is 18. It's Tamanga versus Kane Alexander. Tamanga is right at the back, riding on board now with Tamanga. There he is. He's in 17th. He's going to try and get past Kane, but Kane is a wily old fox. He is a double race winner, both from a race 3 reverse grid, so he's no stranger. That's the man ahead. He's in the Rob Huff, number 79. You can't really see, but he's going to go up the inside. Tamanga's going to go the long way. That's just not going to work through there. He's flashing his lights. He's saying, you've got to give me room through there. That was very, very argy-bargy as he goes up and over the crest of the hill. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. Through the left-hander we go. No heroics. Do nothing silly here. Another slowdown penalty on the board. Tamanga is going to try to force the issue now. I suspect into the hairpin as we ride on board now with Tamanga. There he is in the 79 ahead. That is his nearest rival at this exact moment. He's got a much better overdrive. Can he do anything? He's looking back. Kane's just put the car right in the middle of the track, and he's run wide. Has he held on to it? No, he hasn't. Jean Petre has had a slow down penalty. So riding from the rear view camera, this is 11th and 12th. Stu Neal is being hunted down by Poddy Flack, but those two have just kept themselves busy and away from each other. Jean Petre serving his slow down penalty, and as a result, that's going to once again give Rich Weatherhill the ability to go past. I cannot. These two have just been swapping positions. They're in a fight for their lives to get who can be victorious. 2 different nationalities, 2 different colours of cars, same bit of tarmac. It's never going to work. 7 minutes 55 remaining. This is the battle currently going on. Right, Trebek and Markham. So Trebek is carrying ballast. Markham is not carrying ballast. Trebek is in the number 27. There he is, and he's chasing down. Jake Wilson and Butcher are next to each other as well. So Butcher slowing down. I will keep an eye on that battle as it progresses. This is 15th and 14th. At the 25, that's Ian Dean. He's just kind of being on his own at the moment, having a race all by himself, which is kind of what he needs to do. And look at Trebek. He's all over the rear view camera of that number 28. That's Aaron Markham. Ian Dean outbreaks himself. Cannot believe it. He sent himself off to the barriers, checked himself out, handed his card in. He's back. I can't believe it. That's gifted the the other 2 positions. He says, thank you very much. It's game over. Simon Trebek, there he is. He's currently in 14th position, just ahead of his Markham. Where is on? Watching the battle for 8th and 9th. You can see that on the board. That will be Butcher and Wilson. Those 2 are fighting each other at the moment. Right, Wilson and Butcher. Butcher is having to defend for his life. We're on board with Butcher. He is one of 2. There goes Jake Wilson. He was currently up into 3rd position, but for some reason his car was just crabbing horribly during it. Now he's side by side into turn 1. Got to give each other room. Holds it enough. Butcher thinks better of it. He tabs the brakes a little bit. He's going to go for the old switcheroo, but he'll be crucially on the outside into turn 2. This is turn 2. Butcher's going to try and scoop it up the inside. I'm watching Trebek and Markham 13th and 14th. These 2 are side by side. Butcher has played the blinder there. He's set Wilson up to go the long way round, but crucially, can Butcher hold it going through turn 4? Yes, he can. Sensational stuff. And he'll crucially have it going down the side. But does Wilson tend to go back? No, he doesn't. He leaves him just enough room, 1 car's width. And then he tucks back in. Sensational stuff, bouncing across the curbs as they hold on to it. Right, we leave that battle momentarily. Well, no, we're going to stick with it. We're going to stick with it because the battle for 3rd and 4th is heating up. Whoa, but Wilson's just lost the rear end. So that is game over for now, I believe. Right, this is the battle for the last of the podium position. Shaw's riding on the rear view camera. That's the 88. That's Van Skeppen. These 2 are friends. They've raced each other in other leagues, so they know how each other races. Stu Neal is slowing down, but I think Stu Neal is just managing the tyres. He's managing the car, he's managing the fuel load. Tamanga is on the back of Kane Alexander again. These 2 have been stuck together like glue for the entire race. Time after time, they have done nothing but hold each other up. The question is now, can they do anything more here? Can they manage to get their way past? Can they deliver anything? It's going to be very, very tricky through the left-hander, through the right-hander, final chicane. It's 4 minutes 59 to go. It's a 1:37 lap. You do the math, it's 3.5 laps. So it's going to be very close towards the end of race 1. They're all kind of stuck in their own little groups at the moment. That's the problem they've got in the field, is that because they're stuck in all these little groups, they're all kind of holding each other up as it currently stands. And that's what makes it very, very tricky. Right. This is the battle for 10th and 11th, so in 10th position, and the battle for Butcher versus Wilson is heating up as well. Keeping an eye on it, we can see the entire board here. We'll ride back from Butcher. Poddy Flack and Neal is heating up as well. The fight for the lead. I've gone for the fight for the lead. This is it. It is on. Stu Neal versus Poddy Flack. These 2 are coming together in season 4. So it's going to be no love lost between them. Wilson and Butcher are also fighting each other. Less than a hair's whisker. The tyres is going to be starting to really play a factor now. The ballast is going to be playing a factor. Von Skeppen down in 4th. He's attacking Shaw's. Weatherhill is attacking Deeks and trying to hold on to everybody. They're side by side through the 2nd chicane. A little bit of a tap between 2 of them. It's going to be no love lost. It's the 2 teammates. There it is. Volkswagen, Peugeot, Volkswagen, Seat Cupra. They're all close nose to tail. At the front there as well. George is being attacked by Van Skeppen. Those 2 have been at it. Poddy Flack has not really launched his attack yet. So those 2, well, he is. They're on the board. We're keeping an eye on it at the moment. This is Weatherhill. He's run wide. He will get a slowdown for that. Craig Deeks, one mistake, one tiny mistake, hands Rich Weatherhill the position. Right, Stu Neal and Poddy Flack. What has gone on? This is what has gone on here. Stu Neal, he's gone slow. He can't have had a slowdown penalty. Nothing was on the board. So these 2 are now slowing down. So Stu Neal, he must have broken suspension. There must be something broken on the car or under engine power or something, because Stu Neal isn't carrying ballast. And look, he's now holding up Poddy, holding up Shaw's, holding up Van Skeppen. Wilson and Butcher are fighting each other as well, but Butcher's got the defence on that. Butcher's the number 33, and they're all starting to close up again. Kane Alexander and Tamanga, Trebek and Markham still going. And Martin Kirby and Derek Neal, they are 19th and 20th. Simon Ashbourne retired on lap 6, retired on lap 2, lap 1. He retired on lap 1 or lap 2, so he's at 21st. So he's now on a recovery drive for the rest of the day. There's Tamanga. He's been stuck behind Kale Alexander for the entire race. These 2 have literally just held each other up. they're really, really going to have a lot of, they're just going to have to work together. Trebek, there is Trebek, he's stuck behind Mark, and Wilson is stuck behind Butcher. John Petra is all he needs to do. There's John Petra, he's in the 44. There is Markham, there is Trebek. These two have just been holding each other up for the entire race. That's the problem, is that it's a tricky track to pass at, and they're going to have to work together if they want to go forward. And they're all just kind of grouped into different clusters of cars at the moment. Very exciting. There is Van Skeppen on the back of George. Equal machinery, both for Seat. One's a TC Cup, one's a 2022 car. WTCR versus TC Cup. And as a result, you've got Van Skeppen and you've got Schulz, both of them racing under the different teams, but both racing Aquili Racing. There you can see at the bottom of your screen as we ride on board now with Van Skeppen. Trebek and Markham are at it. Where are they? There they are. So those two are side by side. Trebek's not going to go round that way. He's carrying ballast on board, don't forget. I'm watching Van Skeppen, he's attacking George and Alkane, and Tamanga has finally got past Kane Alexander. So he will be absolutely ecstatic that he's done that. Right. Rich Weatherhill is now joined the back. Now that he's freed himself up from Craig Deeks, he's joined the back of this fight. This is the fight for 8th position. In 8th position, there's Russ Butcher. Behind that in 7th, that is Jake Wilson. Behind that, that's Rich Weatherhill. It's 3 different machineries. There are 3 different ballasts are being carried on board. It's ballasted, no ballast, no ballast, 45 seconds. There will be one more lap to go. Kane Alexander hasn't given up the battle with Tamenga. There is Wilson as we ride on board now with Wilson from the cockpit view. Poddy Flack is now right next to Neil, so we're going to have to flip to the lead battle. It is on. Poddy Flack is going to go up the inside. No, he thinks better of it. He outbrakes himself. He outbrakes himself. Poddy's outbraked himself into the final corner. He's going to have to properly get a shift on if he wants to try and get forward. Our championship leader is in 6th position. He hasn't really had any excitement. He's on his own. Van Skeppen, he's in the 88. He's finally got a run on Shaw's. These two will be side by side. Gives him just enough room, but not enough room, but just enough. And it does Van Skeppen do anything from here. Riding on board through the right-hander he goes. It is the Dutchman versus the Dutchman. 2 different, same nationalities, 2 different manufacturers, but they're the same manufacturer, different colours. Oh, you just fill it in. The race is going to finish. Final lap. I think Neil has managed to hold off from Poddy Flack. I think Poddy Flack's had one opportunity. He's made a mistake, but look at the field. There is the 22. That is Lloyd. He's the championship leader. Nick Papadim has joined the back. He's bouncing across the curbs. He's in the Alfa Romeo. I've not really talked about him, but there he is. He's driving that car. He's at the back of this. Top 5 separated, but not by a lot of seconds. There's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Russ Butcher slow down penalty. But the good news for Butcher is that the person right behind him is his teammate. And because it's his teammate, he will hold on to that. Right, Van Skeppen is on. Ian Deeney and Trebek is on. It's on the entire board. Right, we're going to stick with 3rd and 4th. At the front of the grid. Whoa, there was almost contact. Almost contact. Poddy Flack has 3 corners to go. Neil had 2 late charges come from the rest of the field, and you can see riding from the rear view camera. This is 2nd. There is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Poddy's cooked his tyres. I think he's 100% cooked his tyres. Whoa, an absolute whack in the back there from the car ahead. Does that compromise Shaw's? Has that compromised their entire race? It's a run for the line. No, yes, it has. It has. That whack has cost Poddy 2nd to 4th. He's gone from 2nd to 4th in the corners. Shaw's takes 3rd. He holds on to 3rd. Van Skeppen sneaks into 2nd position. And Neil holds off 1st. Absolutely holds off 1st. Where's the rest of the field? Oh, they're streaming through. Tamenga, where's Kane Alexander? Kane Alexander's going to bring the home car in 18th behind Kirby and Derek Neal. There's Neil. Another solid result from Neil. He's been getting faster and faster, and that's the key here. And he's actually in a good position because he's on his own, because he can just concentrate on going faster and faster. That allows him that ability just to get across the line. Does he cross the line? Boom! Yes, he does. And that's your results. Race winner is Stu Neal. Fastest lap goes to Van Skeppen. Absolute solid result there. A 1:36.995. That's a qualifying lap, pretty much. George is 3rd. Flack is 4th. Papadim's 5th. Lloyd is 6th. Benny's is 7th. Wilson is 8th, Butcher is 9th, Deeks is 10th, John Petra is 11th, Weatherhill's 12th, Markham is 13th, Trebek, Deeney, Tamenga, T-Joke, and the rest of the field. I'm just taking it now. T-Joke, Kirby, Neil, and Ashbourne finishes at the rear of the field. And that's how it stacks up. Yeah, there was one incident, and there's Simon Ashbourne coming and said I didn't last long. But as we always say in these types of races, it's always one of those four. We always check different things that happen, and there's always incidents that happens, and that's why there's a submission process. Right, what are we doing next? I can't remember. That was absolutely fantastic, cracking stuff. This is the problem, because there's such large groups of drivers now that are there together, it results in people slowing down. Right, we are going to go across to the live draw. This is me. Well, we would go across to the live draw if I'd managed to bring it up. There we go. So for those of you on the live draw, so positions 1 to 8 are automatically reversed. We do it off race 1, and this determines the positions for race 3. Between 8 and 12, those positions are all determined by the random draw that we've got here, and that's what we're going to do now. It's done live. It's done live on stream, because that's the way that we work, and it will be position 9. So Russ Butcher is going to be your pole position sitter. And then we have to write that into... So Russ Butcher is going to be your pole position sitter. Fantastic. Right. I need to write that in the chat, and then we will go into... and then we will go into race 2. Oh, and then if I'd actually managed to type that properly, then what I would have written was race 3. As you say, you'd think this was a professional league, but as you've got me, effectively the Rob Huff of the world, it means that we don't. So we'll do it again. Position 9, position 9 pole for race 3, and there we go. And that's going to be exciting, I think. That's going to be a really exciting race. Right, we're going to go across to the driver's feed. I think I'm in the race. I probably am. So we're going to hit the live stream now. And we're going to go across. As always, the guys have had an exciting time. Well, I think they have. So, Russ, is Russ in here?
I am.
You are on pole position.
Ooh.
Oh!
It's going to go badly.
I'm
second again.
So, you are on pole position for race 3.
Jake, we'll wind the conversation.
Wilson is second.
Second again.
Well, there we go. It's one of those things. Right, we're all in terms of where we are. We've got 5 minutes to go. We're going to go across to... first. We're going to go across to yourself, Jake, in terms of that race and where we are. I mean, how was it for you? I mean, it looked like you had a little bit of a moment, should we say. Obviously, there's always different things to say. A little bit of a moment in the opening 2-3 laps, and then you just seem to wobble around the place. Or did that not show up? Because it showed up on stream, or didn't happen? Right, we'll move on from that.
I don't know. I'm going to have to look at the stream to see what you mean.
Okay.
I didn't feel that. The car was fine, apart from there being cars in the way.
Okay, well, we'll move on from that. We'll move on from that.
It's about 6 races in one, quite honestly with you.
Right, we'll move on from that. So, in terms of that race then, I mean, that looked very exciting from yourself. I mean, you did really well in quali. I mean, was that something that you were expecting, or was it something you just went, I've just found a buzz now, because you really like this little Peugeot?
I do, but it's more that I focused more on single lap pace than anything else. And then found just consistency in race pace, which I had in practice races, I did. But then there were just other cars in the way, and I just don't know. That was like 6 races in one. We're going to need an hour to discuss that.
I mean, it's made it very, very interesting and different as well. So that'll be exciting. Right, I'm gonna quickly go across to.
I'll Butcher again. I just realised I'm going to Butcher yet again.
Right, I think Aaron's on the call. Is he on the call? Aaron, you looked across to yourself now, just quickly while we've got a couple of minutes remaining. In terms of yourself, it looked like you had an absolutely a hectic race, even towards the back of the field.
Yeah, picked up a little bit of damage actually. I think from all the carnage that happened with Simon. So I did quite well to gain 3 places really, even if a few of them were from people dropping out. But really struggling a lot more than last season actually with the ballast. I was a lot quicker, but I did have a lot more time to practice. So only got myself to blame really. But moving forward, finishing better than where I started, so I can't really complain.
So it's working out at the moment. It's working out well for you, and because obviously I do know that you obviously you were saying that you compete in another league as well, Formula One cars, and obviously very fast in that as well. Do you find that transition quite difficult between the two, or not really? And
not really, no. Actually,
you just sit in it and go, "I'm driving."
Yeah. My brain naturally is dialed in more to high downforce, so I tend to struggle in touring cars, just period. So when I'm having a good night and I'm in the top 5, you know that I'm performing to the max. This is probably more like normality, really. The last 2 seasons have been phenomenal, so back to normal now.
Well, it seems to be that you've got real sets of cars now, is that if you get stuck by someone whose tyres are starting to drop off, because you're in that train, like we were saying last week, of 3 or 4 drivers, you can't afford to make mistakes or go for a move where there's like one car behind you. Go, I'll make a move and see what happens. You can't really afford that. It's one of those.
No, it's not worth it. You just need to get the points and get out of it, get rid of your weight, and move on to the next one.
Was one of those. Right, well, I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much for joining us.
No problem.
I always end up missing everything. So thank you very much for joining us. And no doubt I'll talk to you after race 2, which, if it's anything like race 1, is going to be absolutely magnetic. So good luck. Right, we're going to go back over to the normal feed. As I always say, we always keep an eye. There's always different multiple angles. There's different views. There's different viewpoints of everything. We only ever see one thing on stream, just because we only ever see one thing on stream. But it is what it is. Right, so for those that are joining us, we've got 59 seconds remaining. So for race 3, Butcher will be your pole sitter. Have I closed it down? Yeah, I did. Yeah, so Butcher will be your pole sitter, followed by Wilson, Norton. Lloyd will be in 4th. Papadim will be 5th. Flack will be 6th. Shaw's will be 7th. Van Skeppen will be 8th. And Neil will be 9th. So Neil finished 1st in race 1. So he really now needs to go and do the double. He's got a prime time here in terms of the car. He's got a good opportunity in order to go ahead and progress into that. So it's going to be very, very exciting. I can see a lot of you that are watching in the background. Please come and say hi. We aren't scary. We are on Discord. We are also on Facebook. Yeah. So it's going to be very, very exciting on what happens. We are sponsored by Belton Business Services, BBS, not the wheels, Belton Business Services, and Via Creative, who support the trophy, which formerly was known as the Dugdale Trophy. So that's why it is now called the Via Creative Trophy. So that's going to be exciting. So while we've got a couple of minutes, don't forget you are currently watching race 2 now of the TCRSL. We are rounds 4, 5 and 6. We are at the circuit Zolder. We are live today. We are on YouTube. This Sunday coming up is rounds 11 and 8 of Trip 6 Motorsport. They are at Imola, which is a fantastic racing track. Love that track. They are live on Trip 6 Motorsport. They are on YouTube. I'd recommend them. They are also on Discord. In terms of what's coming up over the next 7 days, you'll notice, there's Trip 6 Motorsport again, rounds 11 and 12. And the next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, is round 7, 8 and 9 of the TT Assen. We are at Assen Circuit. That was, again, a popular driver's vote, and it was where Luke Dugdale, who originally the Dugdale Trophy was named after, caused all his winnings. Well, there we go. Right, this is race 2. It's 15 minutes. They're all in natural orders now. There will be some massive, massive positions. Who's going to take victorious? Neil is currently on pole. Van Skeppen is third, and it's go, go, go. It's lights out. And who gets a fantastic start? Neil has done enough to hold off the position. Van Skeppen has not had a good start there. Poddyflack will go up the inside of Shaw's. Has he done it? No, he's thought better of it. And right behind there, though, is Lloyd. He's in 5th position. He's championship leader, 80 kilograms on board. Neil has gone defensive immediately, and that's allowed Van Skeppen, and it's caused a ruckus in the middle of the field. What is going on there? And that's caused him to turn his car around. Does he hold on to it? Has he managed to sort himself out? Yes, he has. 4 wheels pointing in the right direction. That was incredibly out of character there for Neil. I can't believe it. In the background, Butcher is holding on to it, but there's Van Skeppen, there's Poddyflack and Shaw's. There is Butcher. He's on the outside into this chicane. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. Where is Ashbourne? Does he get through? There he is in the 31. He is now just behind Kane Alexander, but he's up from 21st into 19th. He's making progress. There we're riding on board now with Shaw's bouncing across the curbs. There is Neil. He's in the middle of that pack, holding on to it. We're now following Benny Norton. He's in 8th. He's in the middle of the pack. He is also attacking and defending. He's attacking 7th position and he's defending the man behind. That is Craig Deeks. There is the 12. There is Jake Wilson. He's trying to go to the outside. Where is Jean Petra? He's up to 11th. There he is. He's in the 44. Behind that, everyone's holding on. There goes Ian Dealey. He's a little bit right. Tamenga is going to attempt to go past Tijo. Does he hold on to it? These two will be side to side into the penultimate chicane. Can they hold on to it? Can they do anything? There is Ashbourne. He's going to go around the outside of Kane Alexander. That's just turned the car around. Kane Alexander has been spun by Simon Ashbourne, and that's pushed him out. Benny Norton at the moment is in 7th and 8th position. There is Benny Norton. He's in 7th. Behind that is Craig Deeks, and that is Russ Butcher. He sent himself out into the distance, so he's all the way down in 14th position. What is going on? It's like they've done race 1. They took too many brave pills and now they're checking themselves out. They need to hold on to it. He's a little bit calmer. This is 7th. This is Benny Norton. He was in 8th. He's now in 7th. Butcher made that mistake, don't forget, and that's hampered him. Well, it's actually benefited him. So he is now in 7th position. Craig Deek, there he is in 12th. Jean Petra riding from the front of the camera. This is 10th, 11th, 10th, 9th and 8th, all nose to tail holding on to each other, but Shaw's and Poddyflack are side by side. They're going to give each other room. Holds on to it nice and tidy. Does he do anything from that position? No, he doesn't. We'll take that on the thing. Poddyflack again is being a massive roadblocker against the 99 and Lloyd Bidoff. So the question is, are they going to do anything here? Are they going to hold it onto it? Poddyflack just needs to start driving the car in the right direction. He needs to just keep it nice and tidy. Do no heroics here. Keep it all pointing in the right direction. But Shaw's has been released. So Shaw's in the 53 has released himself, and that's allowed him to go further. There is Benny Norton. He's in 7th position. He now has Craig Deeks behind him. Tamenga has retired the car, so he's at the back. There is Benny Norton. He's in 7th position. His teammate is currently in 3rd, holding up the rest of the field as it stands. There he is. There is Van Skeppen leading, followed by Shaw's, followed by the 84. That's Poddy, Neil, Lloyd, and 25 of Nick Papa Dim. Rich Weatherhill will leave this battle. This is the battle for 11th and 12th. The battle for 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th is on at the back. The question is, who's going to do anything from here? And there is Rich Weather. He absolutely flings that car round into that corner. He absolutely commits 100%. The question is, does he do anything from here? Poddyflack is now on the back of Shaw's. This is the battle for 2nd position. We're riding on board with 3rd. There is 2nd and 3rd. Nose to tail, a little bit of a break there, a little bit of a sim twitch, bouncing left, bouncing on the right. And you can see Neil in the rear view camera. He riding on board now with Neil. He is absolutely doing all he can. I would be, but we've had a complete shutdown of the system. Jake Wilson and Craig Deeks are side by side. Wilson's in the 7, Deeks is in the 12. Absolutely clanged into each other there. little bit naughty from that side of it, a little bit of less observation. We only ever see one view, but there's only so many times I can say it. Needs to keep it nice and tidy now. There's Rich Weatherhill, he's in 12th position, he's on the right side. There is Ian Deeney, he's in the 25, needs to keep it nice and tidy through the right-hander. This is the hairpin at the back of the circuit. There is Butcher, who's recovering from that race. Does he hold on to it? Does he do anything from here? There's going to be a little bit of bargy-bargy, I think, between positions 12 and 13, as there's no love lost, and he's just going to let him push his way, just holds on to it through the right side. Jake Wilson's had a slow-down penalty for going, I don't know what he's done, but he's had a slow-down penalty. He's held on to it. Here's Trebek in 15th and 16th. So there is Trebek. He's in the 64. He's trying. He's in the 27, sorry. He's carrying ballast on board. He's right behind T-Joke. He's carrying ballast on board as well. So these two are absolutely, there's the ballast, and there is Russ Butcher. He's just slid the car right round the corner. Surely now he's going to get mugged by the lot of them as they all scrabble to find their way through. There's contact between Weatherhill and T-Joke. It's getting a little bit scruffy towards the back of the field. They just need to calm it down a little bit and go a little bit faster as they all sort themselves out. And that's the key. They just need to keep it on the track. Neil is in 4th position. And if you remember, he won race 1 and he was leading, but then he went through turns 2 and it all just sort of kicked off. He was in the middle of the gaggle of cars, and as they all tried to basically find position, it ended up being a massive squabble. And as a result, he ended up going down to 4th position, but we only ever see one thing. Right, Craig Deeks, this is 8th and 9th. Craig Deeks is in 8th, there is Jake Wilson, he's in 9th. Behind that is Markham, and there is Jean Petra. That is the 44 and the 28. It's a 4-car field at the moment, 4-car train. Here is Aaron Markham, he's in 11th. There is Jean Petra, who ride on board now with Jake Wilson. He's in 9th position. Just ahead of that is 8th. That is, as he goes up the inside, needs to keep it nice and tidy. He thinks better of it, tabs the brake a little bit and keeps going, and that's compromised his exit speed. So Jake Wilson now in 9th position. There he is. He's in the number 12. He is trying to hold off the fast-moving Jean Petra. There he is. There's Jean Petra. He's in that white Seat Cupra. He's in the 44. He's up to 9th. He's carrying 70 kilograms on board. He tries to sell him a dummy, but that's released the car ahead. Wilson's gone wide. Jean Petra is just going to sneak up the inside. Can Wilson get the door shut quick enough so that Aaron Markham, no, he doesn't. Aaron Markham in the 28. He's going to go through as well, and Wilson's just going to have to back out there and hold on to it. And as a result, it's a little bit of a twitch there, but he's managed to hold on to it. In the background, you can see Butcher and Trebek. There is Butcher, he's in 33. Right, Poddy Flack and Shaw's are at it again. There's our leader, Van Skeppen. Behind that is the 53. That is Shaw's. Behind that is Poddy Flack. He's in 3rd. Behind that is the 99 of Stu Neal, doing absolutely everything he can do to hold on. He needs to start moving forward fast, but maybe he's saving his tyres, maybe he's looking after the car, because Von Skep is unballasted, Shaw's has ballast, and Poddy, the problem Poddy has is that he cooks his tyres towards the final quarter of the race, and that always compromises him, that always causes him problems. So that's what Neil, I think, is doing. He's just picking his moment and he's just holding on to it. There's Trebek in the 27. He's got Russ Butcher right ahead of him, and these two are absolutely nose to tail. They've been nose to tail with each other for the entire race. There is Kirby. So Martin Kirby versus Derek Neal, that's 18th and 19th, are absolutely nose to tail again on things that they should be doing. Are they holding on to the position? Are they doing everything they can here? Right, we leave that battle. There's so many battles going on. I'm trying to keep up. Through this left-right-hander. They are teammates, don't forget. They're both Kirby and Neal. They both are the new. Right, Weatherhill has just passed. Well, no, they haven't. They're both at it again. I think T-Joke's broken something, or he's just outbraked himself. I think he's outbraked himself. Right, we're going to leave that battle and rejoin the battle basically for what is 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. So in 8th position, riding on the board. Right, Papa Dim and Lloyd are going at it. There is Papa Dim. He's in the 25. There is Lloyd. He's in the 22. Both in the 20s. Across the crest of the hill we go into the chicane. You can see this is 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st. The entire front half of the field is nose to tail. Through the left, through the right. Needs to keep it nice and tidy across as the board. No bouncing. All four wheels pointing in the right direction. Have they managed to hold on to it? Riding from the rear view camera of our leader, now onto second position. This is Shaw's, he's in second. There is Poddy in the 84, and behind that is the 99 of Stu Neal. Another slow down penalty, and behind that you can see this is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. And Papa Dim, Lloyd's made a mistake. Lloyd's made a rare mistake in the 22, and surely that's cost him. Has that cost him the position? There he is. There is the 22, that is Lloyd. The 25, that is the Alfa Romeo, the red and white one. That's Nick Papadim and Benny Norton. Seat Cooper at 29, right at the back. These two different nationalities. And look at Shaw's, he's attacking Van Skeppen at the front. Oh, that was a late break manoeuvre there from Papadim. Manages to hold on to it. Does he keep all the wheels pointing in the right direction? Yes, he does. The lead battle is at it. Poddy has gone up the inside of Shaw's to take second retake second position. And surely now Poddy is going to go after our leader Van Skeppen. Can he do it? Or is Shaw's thinking about the long-term championship battle again? Is he thinking Poddy and Van Skeppen are not the two rivals? They are not the two people I'm chasing for the overall championship. My nearest rival is somewhere down the back of the field as they all fight each other. Right, we leave that battle and rejoin the battle between 8th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. And there's a battle behind as well. They're all stuck in gaggles of cars all over the place. The question is, can they get past? They're stuck behind a car with ballast. That's the problem Benny Norton has got. He's got past Papadim. Papadim was 6th, now he's 7th. And as a result, Benny Norton is attacking the car in front and he's defending the car behind. That's his problem. He needs to keep it nice and tidy. No heroics here. No funny business. Keep it on the tarmac. He needs points because at the end of the day, when the dust settles, points equal prizes. Right, Poddy Flack is now the bottle of the cork in the bottom. There is third and fourth, really holding on to it. Poddy Flack's hit the brakes a little bit there, and that's unsettled the two cars ahead. Can he hold on to it? Can he do anything from here? What can he do? There he is in second position. Behind that is Shaw. Shaw's just needs to set him up to go for a dummy. Send him around the outside, and then he'll make the mistake. He'll wobble, I suspect. That's what he needs to do. Going toe-to-toe in a defensive position is just not going to work. It's not really. He's trying to sell him the dummy there. He's trying to go left and trying to go right. Can he do it? Can he do anything from here? He's got to set him up. He's got to just play it patient. Hold it nice and tight. The problem is he's defending from Stu Neal in the 99 behind. That's the problem. Neal is just sat there waiting to pounce, and he's gone for it. Neal has gone for it. He's going to try and go up the inside. He's going to have to think more than that because Shaw's is just not going to let him do that. He hasn't done it. Bouncing across the curbs, keeps it nice and tidy. No heroics from the lot of them. Over the crest of the hill they go. Right, Aaron Markham is now side by side with Deaney, and behind that is Wilson. These two have just been stuck together like glue for the entire race. And that's the problem now. They have. If you get stuck behind a slower car, you're just gaggling and fighting in a battle with everybody else. And as a result, it means that you're really having to work. Rich Weatherhill has retired as well. That is 20 and 21st. Both retired. Tamenga and Weatherhill both retired at the current moment. There is Ian Deaney, so he's lost out. Right, Pascal should get this done. He should go past. Nice and tidy, job done. He will hold on to, he will take position 8 from Craig Deek. But Markham is now catching the back of Craig Deek as well. And as you can see there, the battle in the front, there will be 2 more laps to go. So Lloyd is just holding on to 6th at the moment. There he is in the 22nd, 22. He's kind of just in the middle. He needs to move one progression a little bit further. There is Shaw. Shaw's has dropped off. I think his optimum for basically overtaking has now dropped off. Right, Trebek and Ashbourne are at it. There is Trebek in the 33. Behind that is Ashbourne in the 27. Sorry, there is Ashbourne. It's Trebek versus Butcher. I've also got Markham versus Wilson, but we're going to stick. I don't know where to stick. We are going to go with Benny Norton. We'll keep an eye on the board as it progresses between Wilson and Markham and between Butcher and Trebek. But Papadim is right at the back of this. It's Alfa Romeo versus Seat. Different variety of cars. Does he go up the inside? No. Deaney thinks better of it. Sorry, Papadim thinks better of it. He just gives him a little bit of a swing to the left and a swing to the right, but he just holds off, and that's compromised his exit speed. And that's allowed Lloyd now to go after Benny Norton. After Lloyd. Lloyd versus Norton, riding on board now with Lloyd. He's in 6th position. Just ahead of him is Benny Norton. He's in 5th position, and this is important for Lloyd's Championship. He probably wants to start losing some ballast, but I suspect he probably won't be losing any ballast. Just the way that it stacks up down the break we go through the hairpin into second. Derek Neal, abuse limits, all coming up on the board. Wilson and Trebek are at it, but we're following this through. There will be one more lap. There will be one more lap as we go into the final lap. There is Van Skeppen. He's currently crossing, 20 seconds to go, but we're going to pick up Trebek and Butcher. There is Trebek, he's in the 27. There is Butcher, he's in the 13. These two, even during season 4, even during pre-practice, they seem to follow each other. They seem to be in exactly the same group of raggle of cars. So it makes it very, very tricky in terms of where they are. They won't cross the line. There'll be one more lap and it'll be down to Lloyd, and Shaw's hasn't given up on Flack. That's the 2nd and 3rd position. We're watching the battle for 5th. That's 5th, 6th and 7th. So Lloyd in the 22 is now in the middle of the pack. He's now getting harassed by Papa Dim. There he is in 7th position. Just ahead of him, slow down penalty from Ian Deaney in 6th position. And then 5th is just ahead. Wilson and Markham are watching him, Trebek and Butcher. Markham and Wilson, 10th and 11th. Butcher and Trebek is 13th and 14th. Does he get past? He's not going to go around there unless he takes a very big brave pill. And yeah, he thought better of it. He just backed out of there and said, nope, not for me, and holds on to that position. Through the left-hander we go into final lap. Don't forget, this is the end of Sector 1. We're now in Sector 2, bouncing across the curbs. Can Papa Dim do anything? That is the 25. Nick Papa Dim is the 25. Can he do anything from here? Can he get to the next car? Can he get past the next car? He's been stuck together. They near as enough. Fastest lap, 137.5 versus a 137.5. These two are equally matched on pace. Ballast versus no ballast. And that's the difference it does. It just slows you down in terms of where you are. The front three, I think, have settled in. Papa Dim has gone for it. Lloyd's thought better of it. Lloyd just hasn't had the ability to get the drive out the corner. So Lloyd will bring the home car in 7th. Our championship leader will bring the car home in 7th position, takes the position. Fantastic stuff. Derek Neal is in 18th position. He goes off into the distance just as we cut to him. Martin Kirby is behind across the curbs. Needs to keep it nice and tidy here. No heroics through the right hand. He outbrakes himself again. Can he get past? Does his teammate Martin Kirby? No, Kirby's going to let him have the position. These two are our teammates in terms of where they are. They are Danger Mouse Racing, best team name in the league. They're going to bring the home cars, the 2 final cars in 18th and 19th position. Through the left-hander, final corner we go. Outbrakes himself. I think he's just getting used to the car. Let's go with that. 37. He needs to cross the line. Get some. I think he's broken it. I think he's broken the car. Yep. That car, I think, is full on broken. So he will bring the car home in 19th position. Fantastic result there for the Danger Mouse Racing boys. So Van Skeppen is your race winner. Van Skeppen is the race winner, and Shaw's is the fastest lap. Poddy Flack is 2nd. Shaw's is 3rd, Neal is 4th, Norton is 5th, Papa Dim 6th, Lloyd is 7th, Jean Petra is 8th, Deeks is 9th, Markham is 10th, Wilson 11th, Deanley, Butcher, Trebek, Ashbourne, T-Joke, Alexander, Kane, Kirby, Tamanga and Weatherhill. As always, race results are provisional based on any inquiries and things like that. We only ever see one thing on stream, and that's what I always say. It was a little bit scruffy from a commentary perspective. I think they just need to calm it down a little bit. That was a very little bit scruffy. Weatherhill's had a disqualification and Tamanga had a DNF. But it was very, very scruffy in terms of that race. So, be interesting to see. As always, we only ever see one thing on stream on where we are. So, I don't actually have the mid-race. I think it's the mid-race. Yeah, it's the mid-race one. So, we might do something unusual because I think tempers will be a little bit flared in terms of where they are. So, we're not going to go across to the drivers for this one, just because, obviously, as always, we never know how it's going to pan out because we are a live stream. We have to be very careful, obviously, in terms of where we are. So we'll keep that for it. So in terms of where we are, the drivers will lobby in. Don't forget, we are in there for race 3. And because we're there for race 3, it now means that we do a reverse of race 1. So for those of you that remember, it was Butcher will be on pole. Second position will be Wilson. Norton will be third. Lloyd will be fourth. Papadim will be fifth. Flack will be sixth. George will be seventh. Van Skeppen will be eighth. And Neil will be ninth. And that's how it's going to pan out for the final race of the evening. We'll see how this race goes, and we might not go back to live commentary in terms of the teams, just predominantly because, you know, when there's a heated incident, that's what the process is for. We always have to be careful about that because we have sponsors in the way that we go. So in terms of where we are, that's the current event. That's where we are. We are rounds 4, 5 and 6. We are live there now for the final race of the evening. This is a reverse grid. Trip 6 Motorsport, rounds 11 and 12. That's coming up this Sunday. If you don't check them out, please do. They are a great racing league. Coming up not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, it should say next Wednesday, is round 7, 8 and 9 at TT Circuit Assen. It's where Luke Dugdale took his first ever victory in any sim commentary that I've ever raced at. So that was very, very exciting. In terms of, and then Trip 6 Motorsport is coming up as well. So I'd recommend it. There's also the Formula 1 that's on this week as well. So that will be equally entertaining. If you're a big Formula 1 fan, it's from Miami. So that will be exciting. So the final race, we're across to race 3. If you're just joining us, you're joining us for the final race of the evening. It's a 15-minute race, which will start in about 6 minutes. So you've got time to get yourself on the app, get yourself some food, get it ordered, get a drink, non-alcoholic, don't want to get banned. And go from there. All the guys are lobbying up, so it'll be very interesting to see where they go. The biggest mover on there, I think, will be the back of the field. It's going to be very, very tough in order to get through. So it will be interesting to see what happens on where we are. So that's where it is in terms of where we are. So we're just staying away from, we'll just see what happens. Just keeping an eye on everything that's going on as we've got it. So it's going to be, the whole championship is going to be turned upside down basically on where it is. Lloyd and Jean Petre carrying our championship leaders. Lloyd is carrying 80 kilograms on board, but it's going to take a while, I think, for someone to catch him. Another solid result in the middle of that field. Jean Petre as well, another solid result. He's in the middle of the field. He hasn't benefited, unfortunately, from this race 3 reverse grid because he finished 11th. He's going to start 11th, and Deeks, who started 10th, will finish 10th. Will start 10th. That's how it is. Sometimes it's a random draw. So it's really hampered Jean Petre, but it's benefited Lloyd because he's going to be starting in 4th position. Now he can basically do 137.3s with 80 kilograms on board. The fastest drivers above him really in that speed are George, Van Skeppen, Neil and Flack. Oh, and Papadim did a 136 before. So he's kind of in, he should get past Norton, Wilson and Butcher quite quickly. So Lloyd has a real opportunity here to take a victory in race 3. Which would further help him with 3 minutes going, or about 4 minutes going before we start the final race of the evening. So it will be really, really tricky. It'd be really, really interesting to see what happens in terms of where they are and what they do. But Lloyd is in a prime time position here. If he can get past those front 4 basically quickly and get a good start off the line, he's going to be okay. The problem is with 80 kilograms on board, right behind next to Lloyd is Papadim. Now Papadim is a mighty starter. He's very good, and that little Alfa Romeo without ballast on board is rapid in the right hands. Jean Petre and Lloyd, I talk about them a lot because they are our championship leaders. So that's going to be very, very tricky. Neil just seems to be going fast and dropping off. So I don't know if he's thinking about his championship. I don't know if he's just having some issues. I don't know if there's some lag going on. But that's very unusual for Neil. I mean, he was absolutely rapid in race 1, but Poddy came back. And in race 2, we had that start, and he was just kind of in the middle of the pack. So I'm not sure if something's gone on or if some of the computers have not worked. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens from that perspective. So we've got about 2 minutes remaining of the last race. We can see a lot of people in stream. Please come over and talk to us. We are all a very nice bunch. We all are friendly. As always, it's just a sim game. It's just sim. We aren't a professional league in any respect. You can see that from the way that we do our commentary. But we are a friendly bunch of guys. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Going forward, next week we are, like I said, we are at the Assen circuit, which is the TT Assen circuit, which is an absolute cracking track. I do love that track. And then from there, we actually go to Zandvoort. And then from there, we have our mid-season break. That's rounds 10, 11, 12 at Zandvoort. It's a very tricky track. That's the GP layout. It's chosen this season by predominantly our Dutch contingent. They love that track, so we went for it. Red Bull Ring on the 31st of May, then Laguna Seca on the 7th of June. Silverstone, that's the national circuit, because the international circuit has a glitch that if you have a slowdown penalty and you haven't got rid of it by the point that you exit the pits, it gives you a blue flag, so we don't run the international. We ran it and it just caused all heaps of problems, so we don't run that. And then we finish the season out at Brands Hatch GP, which is an absolutely cracking track. I absolutely love that track. It is a track that I have a lot of time for. I'm very passionate about it. I do really like this track as well. I think it's an exceptional track in terms of where we are. So it's a little bit scruffy in race 2. Race 1 was okay. Race 2 was very scruffy. So race 3 will be interesting to see if they've all calmed themselves down. They've taken a chill pill and they're just going to play nice. But it takes a while for everyone to sort themselves out in terms of where they want to be. So we've got a minute now before we basically lobby up. And then when they lobby up, we'll basically go racing for the final race of the evening. That is 15 minutes of the final race. And don't forget, we are positions 1 to 9 are reversed. So 1 to 9 are now reversed. So from race 1. So they'll all be lobbying up now. They'll all be getting ready. They'll all be getting themselves psyched up, getting to see what they can do. So chat's fairly quiet. If you've got any comments, please add them in. And obviously we will have a look. There isn't a bot that actually looks after this. You are stuck with me. I am the bot. But in terms of it, that's where we are. So 35 seconds to go, 34 seconds to go. It might be a little bit sooner, and then we'll go to the final race of the evening. Race 3 is always the most action-packed, you'd think, after race 2, which was a very scruffy race. So they need to calm themselves down now. It's not, you do not win the race on the opening lap. You just can't. And there we go. So it's final race of the evening. We're going to get ready. We're going to hold on to it, and we will see where we go. Who is going to be victorious? Does Lloyd get himself into pole position? And it's lights out, and away we go. And who's had a fantastic start? Benny Norton is side by side with Lloyd. Lloyd, the 80 kilograms on board, that's really hampered him into turn 1. Does anyone else get past? They're all squabbling through. There's Papadim in the 25. There is Poddy. He's in the middle now. 84 versus 25. And Shaw's is going to go round the outside, and there's huge contact. Huge contact between the two drivers. I cannot believe it already. There's been an accident, and George is down in 19th position. Papadim is in 20th. And it's all kicked off, but that has benefited Lloyd as everyone squabbles them ways to get out of the way. They're in the background. Butcher avoiding the accident. Trebek is going back as well. He needs to calm himself down into the middle of that field. There is the 84. There is Poddy. Through the left-hander he goes. No doubt there'll be masses of discussions following that. Post-race. There is Weatherhill. He's in 7th. Currently, Neil is up to 6th, which is what he needs. He needs to start making hay while whatever the term is. There's the 28. There is Markham. He's going to go up the inside of Poddy, but that's not going to work through that. There is Jean Petra. He's right behind in the 44. Doing absolutely all he needs to do in 10th. He started at 12th and he's gained 2 positions. Fantastic for the second place. Right, Neil is on the back of Van Skeppen. There is Van Skeppen in the 88. He was race 2 winner, and he was second in race 1, and that's really started to hold him up now. You can see Neil, he was race 1 winner, and then he just suffered in race 2, and he's gone backwards, and that's properly hurt him. Now can he do anything? Hits the brakes, bounces across the curbs, needs to keep it nice and tidy here. In the background, Lloyd is now on the back of Butcher. Butcher has held on to first for how much longer? It's 33 versus 22. Lloyd had nearly a second faster than the man in front, and that's why I think Lloyd here is in a prime position to take a race 3 victory. Butcher has gone defensive. That will force him wide. Does he get the car stopped and rotated just enough? Weatherhill has gone past Neil. Neil is just in the middle of the gaggle of cars, but they've cleared Poddyflack, who's in 8th position. There he is in the 84. Stu Neil is now up to 7th. Through the right-hander they go. Just ahead of that is Weatherhill, followed by Van Skeppen. Ahead of that is Butcher, who's holding off Lloyd. There is Lloyd. There is the 7th of Jake Wilson. I don't know what he's doing. I think he must be having a sim twitch in the background. But Butcher is holding on to it. Right, Kane, Ashbourne, and Trebek. There is the 79. That is Kane, followed by Ashbourne in the 31, followed by Trebek in the 16. They were all absolutely nose to tail. This is 16th, 15th and 14th riding on board now. There is Ashbourne. He's in the DHL yellow livery. Papadim is on recovery drive at the back. He's cleared the back of Kirby. Kane Alexander, slow down penalty. He's going to have to take that very carefully if he doesn't want to lose too much time to the rest of the field. He's going to have to keep it all on 4 wheels. Right, Poddy is just not going to go up there. These two are absolutely all over the road in terms of where we are. Benny Norton is in 3rd. There he is. He's on the back of Lloyd currently in the 22nd. There is the 29. That is the 3rd place is Benny Norton. Ahead of that is Lloyd Billop. Lloyd, there he is in the 22. He's currently in 2nd position, riding from the rear view camera. He's in 2nd. There we are. Behind that, he absolutely hits the brakes, rotates the car nice and quietly. There is Jake Wilson taking a very different shortcut. There is Kane Alexander. He's currently in 79th. He's now got Trebek and the recovering Shaws behind him from that opening corner incident between all of them. Whereas, remember, we only ever see one incident. Kane's gone a little bit wide there, and that's surely going to allow Trebek and Shaws through. Yep. It's going to allow him to come through the right-hand side. Needs to give just enough room. 1 car's width. Through the right-hander they go. And it's position gained. Right, Pascal and Markham are close together. There is Jean Petra, not Pascal, Jean Petra in the 44. He's in 10th position. Right, Russ, Butcher and Lloyd are still, basically Butcher is stuck behind. The rest is closing up the field as we see Weatherhill and Weatherhill and Van Skeppen. Temenga, where is Temenga? Temenga is not in the lobby anymore, so it's only 20 car drivers at the moment. There it is at the front. We've got Rich Weatherhill in 6th position. He's on a recovery drive at the moment. He got a disqualification. We do not know why in race 1. There is Neil on the back of Weatherhill. They're all bunching up here behind Van Skeppen. He is the cork in a massive bottle. 10 minutes remaining of this race. Ashbourne, slow down penalty. Here comes Neil. Neil's going to attempt to go up the inside. He tries to sell Weatherhill the dummy. Weatherhill's the 64. Don't forget the 99. That is Neil. The 84 is Poddyflack. Tries to sell him a dummy. Leaving enough racing room here between Poddy and Neil. Side by side as they come down the main straight. Can they do anything from here? Neil shouldn't have a slow down penalty from that position. They give just enough room. Holds on to the position. No, he doesn't. Poddy retakes the position. And Neil holds it. Neil's gone wide again. That seems to be Neil's normal line through that corner. Right, Russ, Butcher and Lloyd and Benny are all just stuck together at the moment. Lloyd is there. He's in 2nd position. Don't forget he started 4th and he's gained. Medi Norton, left-hand side, 29. He's going to attempt to go around the outside into turn 1. That's just not going to happen from there. He's just not going to do it because Lloyd will crucially have the inside line for turn 1, which he has done. He's ticked that box. Job done. Benny Norton's there in 3rd position. Now Jake Wilson has joined the party. He's in 7th. There he is. He's not 7. He's driving 7 and he's in 4th. 9 minutes to go. Poddyflack and Neil in 7th and 8th are still battling it out. Kirby and Neil at the back. This is Derek Neil and Martin Kirby are absolutely holding on to everything they need to do. These two are teammates. They are helping each other along. Can they do anything? Can they deliver anything from this position? They aren't going to get any points, but will they see anything? We are also missing Bill Campion. He's currently not driving at the moment. At the front, you've got Lloyd Biddup. There he is in 22nd. We're just going to call you Lloyd. I'm not going to stop butchering your name. So Butcher's saving grace here in that 33 is going to be whether or not Lloyd can hold up the rest of the field, and that's going to be tricky. Now you've got at the back of Weatherhill, he's in 6th position. You've got Poddyflack in 7th. He is going to attempt to go up the inside. That's just not going to work from there. He needs to keep it nice and tidy. He's now going to be slow, and Neil should now be right on the back of him. Can he do anything from here? Can he deliver anything? Can he go forward? He's a race winner now. In race 1, don't forget, Van Skeppen, who's currently down in 6th position on the back of Weatherhill. This is 6th and 5th. Those two are fighting each other as we get a break for a moment. This is 12th and 13th, so in 13th position, riding on board now with Ian Dearney. He's in 13th. Just ahead of that is T-Joe. He's in 12th. These two are absolutely nose to tail in terms of where they are. Can they deliver anything? Down the handbrake they go. Through the left, right hander needs to keep it nice and tidy. No heroics here. Craig Deek is being the blocker. T-Joke's got the run on him. That's very audacious to go around the outside into the second hairpin. You're going to have absolute commitment. You can slow the car down. Can he get the car stopped? Yes, no, he keeps the car on the outside. He goes, if you're not going to give me room, I'm going to go through. And he keeps it there. These two are battling it out. Closed doors, like absolute side by side. Can they do anything from here? Can they deliver anything? Can he get it done? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. They're still side by side. No, he does. He's done it. He's got the job done. Right, Lloyd has got past. He's side by side with Norton. Butcher, I think, has made a little bit of a mistake there. And that's allowed the lead battle to change. We were watching another battle when the lead battle changed, so that it's now on. But Lloyd is going to attempt. No, it's Poddy. No, it's whoever those are. So you've got the front three leaders. 3 into 1 does not go. It just doesn't go into that corner. And that's allowed that little bit of a miscalculation there from Benny Norton has allowed him to go up the inside. Lloyd will then leave the door open, but does he get it shut? Yes, he does. So now Butcher has to go from 1st to 3rd and be content with slotting himself in. Wilson's now joined the party in the background. Oh, there's contact. There's contact between the drivers. Does he hold on to it? No, he doesn't. Butcher's gone full force into the side of the wall. I cannot believe it. So Butcher is game over at the back. Weatherhill, that's promoted Jake Wilson to 3rd. They're all now fighting for each other, fighting for the positions. Anybody would think it was the opening lap of the race. Have they held on to it over the crest of the hill? 6 minutes remaining. It's all getting very scruffy in the background. Neil is going to attempt to go around the outside of Poddy into this corner. Does he get it done? Yes, he does. And then he's going to be right up the rear end of Van Skeppen. Neil's the 99. He's in the middle. We're riding on board with him now, right behind that. There is Van Skeppen right behind. He's right in front. Neil's behind. This is 5th and 6th. Door to door. And there's Body Flack. He's going to attempt to go up the inside again. Neil goes immediately defensive. Shuts that door closed. Says, you're not coming through there. Don't even attempt to do that manoeuvre again, and it's job done, close done. Neil now is surely going to get past Van Skeppen and go into 3rd position, go into 4th position. Wilson is attacking the back. There is Wilson, he's attacking the back. Does Neil, he's going to have to try and hold it in, but that's going to compromise his exit. There is Markham, and Markham's got a slow down penalty, and that's now released. Neil has now gone into the clutches of Poddy, and there is Aaron Markham. Markham will have a slow down penalty. Poddy's gone up the inside. Does he get it done? Just enough. Does he leave enough racing room? And he's gone up the inside to get the job done. I'm pretty sure Neil's going to go up the inside through this corner. Yep, he does. Neil saying, if you're going to go through that, I'm going to do it. Markham, another slow down penalty. It's all kicking off at the front of the grid. Through the right-hander we go. Over... what corner is this? Corner 4? Anybody think it was the opening lap of the race? It just isn't. It's 4 minutes 30 remaining. I'll have a heart attack by the time it's done. Wilson and Weatherhill are side by side. This is the battle for the last of the podium position. Weatherhill just launches it over the curbs. What is going on? In terms of tonight's racing, it needs to keep it nice and tidy, all on the front wheels. Van Skeppen is going to go past the side of Jake Wilson, and he... What is going on tonight? They're all just being very argy-bargy, trying to keep it nice and tidy there in terms of keeping it all on the track in terms of one racing. This is 4th. There's Stu Neal in the 99. There's the 84 of Body Flack. So Neil's going to go up the inside, and he's just going to mug the lot of them. And he's contacted the rear end. So he's now gone off the grass. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. And Van Skeppen, he's been promoted. He's now into 3rd position, and behind that is Wilson. There is Wilson in 7th. There's the 84 in Body Flack. Those two are just banging into each other, and is holding on to it, and behind that is Jean Petra. There is Jean Petra, he's in 7th position, doing absolutely everything he can to hold on to this. So it's absolutely very, very argy-bargy in terms of the racing. They need to slow themselves down. They've gone from having an absolutely sensational week to just going madness. Podiflax trying to sail it up the inside, but that's just going to force him wide, and Wilson should take that position. And holding on to it and through the right-hand side. Does he do anything nice and neat? No, he doesn't. He's absolutely held on to it. So this is riding back from third position from Van Skeppen. In fourth there is Podiflax. Behind that is Wilson. Wilson's is in seventh, and the 84 is in Podiflax. He's shut that door, and that should allow the number 7 to come back into the position. Aaron Markham's given him a little bit of a love tap at the back. Keeps it nice and tidy. Through the left-hander we go. Shaw's has had a slowdown penalty. Where is Shaw's currently? He's on recovery drive in 13th position. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. No heroics here. Jean Petre in 7th. There he is. He's currently holding on to 7th. He started 12th, so he's made up some absolutely cracking places. Lloyd has now got a gap for 2.6 seconds at the lead, and he's doing all he can. Where is Neil? Neil is down in 9th position at the moment. Just ahead of that is Tjo. He's in 8th. So Tjo has been making progress, and ahead of that is Jean Petre. Markham is in 6th. Podiflax is up into 4th, and ahead of that is Lloyd, Benny, and Van Skeppen. It's all got a little bit argy-bargy in terms of where we are. There is Joe Wilson, he's in 7th. And he's doing all he can. So it's going to be very, very tricky. With 1 minute 42 remaining, it'll be 2 more laps, but they've seemed to have quietened themselves down now. Neil, there he is in the 99. There is the 12 of Tjo. They've all managed to calm themselves down a little bit as the field started to get into a natural spread and selection. They've all tried to push on early, and I think that's what's caused all of this carnage would be the word I would use. It's just like this. It's like they think it's the last race of the season, and they don't have to fix the cars. It's absolutely gone absolutely all over the shop in terms of where we are. Podiflax, I think, has had a disqualification. Lloyd, there is Jean Petre. He's trying to, I think he's warmed his tyres, or trying to dummy Markham into doing something. So it's got all very, very touchy in terms of where we are. So they're trying to sort themselves out. Through the left-hander we go, and it's through into, keeps it nice and tidy. The question is now, can he hold on to this position? Can he do anything from here? I don't think he can, because it's the last lap of the race. It's 39 seconds. Derek's had to slow down, but he will get 18th. But Kane Alexander is 1. It's just away from the points finishing. And then you've got Papa Dim's down in 14th. Trebecca's in 13th. George is on recovery in 12th. Ashbourne's in 10th. Deeney's is in 10th. 9th is Neil. Then you've got Tjo, Jean Petre, Markham, Wilson, Van Skeppen, and Lloyd has done an absolute solid job. He will cross the line for 1 more lap. We will stick with him. We'll keep an eye on the board to see if there's any progressions, but I don't think there will be. I think that will be race over, game over in terms of where we are tonight. Trebek and Papa Dim are at it. Has he had a slowdown penalty? There's Trebek, he's in the 27. There is the 25. That is Ian, that's Papa Dim. So it's Papa Dim versus Trebek. Yeah, Papa Dim versus Trebek. So these two are absolutely nose to tail in terms of where we are. It's going to be very, very tricky to actually recover anything from here or do anything in terms of the positions. No doubt there will be a number of discussions going on post-race. Right, Neil is on the back of Tjo. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. He's been fighting it. There's Ashbourne. He's got Ian Deeney behind him. There is Ian Deeney in the 25. So he's absolutely all over the shop in terms of where we are. Over the crest of the hill we go, down through the left hand. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. No heroics through here. Oh, Ian Deeney nearly collecting the rear end of the car. It was very, very tricky. Through the right hander we go. Needs to keep it over the crest of the hill. No heroics. Benny Lawson slow down penalty. So he was making progress on Lloyd in first and second, but he's gone backwards in terms of where we are. There's Stu Neal. He's attempted to go up the inside. Has he managed to do anything from here? No, he hasn't. And it'll be, I think that will be final positions failing. And I think Kane Alexander on the back of Weather Hill. No, I don't think he'll be able to do anything from there. So Lloyd will bring it home. He absolutely did all he did to take a third victory in the TCRSL, plus a race, the first time race 3 winner. Norton will bring the car home in second, followed by Van Skeppen. That's Neil Flash. There is Neil in the 99. There is not Trebek. That's Markham, followed by Jean Petre. As everyone passes up the field, as they all start doing crazy crashes and wheel spins and other various funities. Derek Neal's going to bring the car home in final position. Through the right-hander we go. Can he do anything from here? I don't think he can because it's the final lap of the race. Absolutely sensational in terms of the results. So there you go. As always, results are provisional. Look at Rich Weatherhill takes the fastest lap of the race, 1:37.209. Lloyd takes another race victory, followed by Norton van Skeppen, Wilson, Markham, Jean Petra, T-Joke, Neil Deeks, Ashbourne, D&E, George, Papadim, Trebek, Weatherhill, Alexander, Kirby, Neil, Butcher has a DNF, we saw that, and Flack has had a disqualification, and Tamenga did not start. He was a DNS. And that's it in terms of where we are tonight. So, we'll go across the stream. We won't be going to the drivers' briefing today. I don't know what's going on there. It's gone all over the shop. We won't be going to the drivers' briefing today because I suspect it will be very, very heated. Yeah. No doubt there's multiple incidents that we'll be talking about in terms of that. There will be multiple things that will happen. But as always, it's submitting it through the normal process. We all looked at it in one way, but it is as well, that's why we've got the incident process. Well, you know, it was very scruffy. I'd say it was a classic touring car race. But it's, again, it was a bit scruffy. Is the way I would put it. So no doubt we will be talking about this one. This will be one of those ones that will go down as like Blisterberg that we raced at last season. So no doubt we will go down to that. So yeah, so thank you all for watching. Thank you for staying with us. As I said, no drivers interviews today. So yes, enjoy the rest of your evening.